All right, is this working again? Restarting for part 2 today. So I should be able to hit pause there. Okay, great. So I was streaming a little bit earlier, and I started this process of having a new kind of data value for nil, and replacing the current option data value with just data value. And I should be able to do that with this. Actually not self, data sum, data value nil. And watch what breaks. Test error without value. Okay. Basically breaking things and then fixing wherever they break. So right, error nil. And it says that it doesn't have value. So it will have a value. It will be sum data value nil. Unable to parse bar failed. Unreachable code. Nice. So we were okay, it's comparing nil to nil, I think. I think what I want to do here is it's true, right? Nil and nil is true. So it's not true. It's equal. They're equal. Yes. Pass. Okay. Fixed one thing, and okay, next thing broken is test map. Okay, probably because I have a nil key. So yeah. All these sums are gonna go away, hopefully. This is sum data value nil now. And the value for bar will be some data value nil as well. Although I wonder if this makes sense. If we're going to change it so that it's no longer an option, does it make sense to have a value nil? I think it does. The difference is that the key is there or not, right? Nil is a valid key, and nil is a valid value if the key is not. I think nil nil is also allowed. But if we look something up that's not in the map, instead of getting nil back, we should have like a separate kind of return value. Okay, so moving on. Test vector extend with assignment. It's like shift. How does this work? Control shift C. That's not control shift C, is it? Control shift C. There. Okay. Because x2 is nil. Right, so kind of curious, what do we actually get? Do we get a hole and then a nil next to it? Yes, some nil is different from none. So here's the first place where we're going to actually be changing stuff, right? So eventually we're going to get rid of the sums, but not yet. The correct thing would be nil data value nil, but we never assigned x3. I think the whole should default to nil. Hey, Ray March, how are you doing? A bunch of nothing, that's right. So we still have a none, so we need to fix that. That's in reference, I think. Where we walk index path. Vector index range check. Oh wait, hold on. Not here. I think it's evaluate. No, it's not valued index expression either. I need to go to like dereference or create local. In here we create holes, right? Walk index path. Here we go. There's where we create holes. So we don't want to push none anymore. We want to push some data value nil. Okay. Oh, what happened here? Oh, nothing. Nothing happened there. I'm like, my brain was saying that's none, and I'm like, no, that's not none. That's nil. Hey there, Raymarsh. Doing pretty well. You're sad you used it to measure your program's runtime in microseconds. Now it's in milliseconds. You have to live with that. Aw. Microseconds is great because then it's like, wow, this is super fast. Milliseconds you can actually start to perceive with your brain. I'm doing great. Yesterday I got enough of my program to work. This decompose, and now there's an ingest version of it. So it's basically testing all of this, and I actually ran a speed test, parsing a GIF image, and C++ version took about 0.22 seconds, and the ingest took 0.18. So it's like, I don't know, was that 20% faster? And I did an apples to apples comparison, have the same grammar, the same input, the same output, both piping to dev null, so we weren't counting the file system. So we're just counting like just the parser, and the Rust is faster. So I was happy about that. Should you do the right arcane C++ tricks? No, I'm not sure. I think my C++ skills are because I learned on my own. When you learn stuff on your own, you tend to like pick up bad habits, and I think I had a lot of bad habits when I was learning it. Okay, passing all the tests is actually not a good thing, because that makes me think that we don't have enough tests. So something to distinguish none from some value. I guess I'll look through the tests and see which ones should be expecting nil. So close everything. So I'm in the process of changing value. It used to be that I had a whole bunch of option values throughout the code, and if it's none, it meant nil, but now nil is a variant of value. So now there are actually two ways to get nil, and I'm trying to get rid of the old way, and all nil values be some value nil. So I'm trying to find now use unit tests that test for that, and I suppose we should just look for the word nil by itself, right? Correct. Discount the C++ and the .h's. Formatting library. Okay, so like, for example, this takes an option, right? We don't want it to do that. But that's not a test. So we're doing test-driven development, right? So I'm trying to close all the ones that aren't tests. Here we go. Here's a test that has a nil in it. Right. X is nil. That's an error. So we'll never get to there, unfortunately. But if I were to enhance this test and say that X needs to have nil in it, then this would be better, right? So let X equal food dot keyed children dot get X unwrap, right? And then we would assert equal some data value nil for X dot. Oh, I thought you already turned them down. Turning them down more? Yeah. Okay. So now we're asserting that X actually has to have the sum nil value nil. And I think this will break because it's going to be none. Oh, we actually, yeah, the unwrap actually failed. So that's this line. Food didn't have a child. Oh, because it's local. Ah, okay, we can fix that though, right? Not in this test though. We can't decrement locals. But is there a way to get around that? No, no way to get around it. Okay, so I need to move this. So how would I test that a local has a value nil? I guess I can't here. So abort. Go back to searching. So that isn't useful. How about this one? Error nil. Okay, we already updated that one. Increment. Can't test that one for the same reason decrement. Okay, I updated this one, right? So nil, if you use nil literally, it will give you some data value nil now. X equals nil, X plus Y is just an error. Okay. Updated that one already. Nil is expected for, nil expects to return a token nil in the lexer. Yeah, token nil, yep. Expression nil in the grammar, and we're not looking at the generated code. Not that one. Token turns into expression. That's irrelevant, irrelevant, irrelevant. Okay, so we don't have enough tests. So I need to pick one. Well, really, all of the places that expect some, we're gonna remove the option, right? So maybe I take a heavy-handed approach. We go to the API and we're saying we're changing the API. Okay, and the API is going to be either in this or in the data that we just say that there is no longer an option. Things always have values. I have to be careful though, because there are some cases where we want to distinguish between no value and a nil value. Except that nil, the lack of a value, the only place where we can distinguish between nil and a lack of a value is if nil is in a set, right? And you can either say nil is in that, nil can be in a set, but none can't. All right. These things, yeah. These things will always have a value. Start with error, right? So if I broke an error in 4 places. Right, so evaluate expression. We should just make the changes, right? Make the necessary changes. So we would expect to get a value. So let value equal value as ref. Actually, then I don't need to do that. It should just be possible to say that. And then this needs to be a value. So we change it to be a value. Now that's going to break a lot of things. But it fixes this thing. So everywhere, evaluate expression. So find, show, not hierarchy. I guess that actually would work. Show all references works better though. Right, so this would be let value equals that semicolon, and then we don't need this bracket. Okay, moving on. To value local, okay, that means this thing needs to give me a mutable value, not an option value. So all of these need to change. So this is something which defaults to nil. And while we're here, I think we're just chasing down errors now at this point. So extract value gives us a data value, right? Expected a function returns an option. So it's not end then, it's just map. So can't I like just say extract value this as mute? It's shorter, right? Oh, as mute actually returns an option, but it shouldn't. Yeah, this is oh no, that is an optional. Yeah. So then I can't change that. There has to be two maps. Because that is an option. Wait. Vector of options, we get an iterator of options. Okay, that map is just mapping the iterator. So this is still an option. If it's something, then we extract a value from it. Okay, so yeah, that we still need a map there, and these maps are different. I think it's this self value that's throwing it off. No, that's not it. Oh, it's the sum that's throwing it off. There we go. Okay. Value. So that means the default value will be data value nil. Hi again, Vincent. Option. So we're removing options. Data values are not optional because now there's an actual nil variant. That's what we're working on right now. So that means that this is data value nil here for none. and remove some. So the net effect should be a lot of sums get removed and a lot of maps and a lot of like if lets get removed because of this. So the danger is if I hit a case where I need to distinguish nil from no value at all. But if that was the case, I would have had an option nil, option data value. I don't think I have any of those. 274 errors. It doesn't really matter where I go, so let's go to reference. Okay, so yeah, this is expected to return a data value, not an option data value now. So value is what? Option value. Oh, thank you. We have to check this before Thanksgiving to make sure it's not poisonous. You know? Got all this candy and like we can't just eat it. We have to have a good reason to eat it before Halloween. So the reason is we have to it's a poison check. I love me 100 g bar though. Okay, so this thing, it's this thing right here. It's returning option value. Getting rid of it. That's a great way to put it. Actually, dude, it's the dad tax. Value ref. Yeah, so we just remove the sum, right? Because values is option value. Let's fix all of these. All of these go away. Okay. Oh, and this gets simplified, right? Because I can just delete that, all of that. Same thing here. Delete, 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 delete. Delete, 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 delete. Delete, 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 delete. Nice. Actually, then I can combine this, right? Key value. Cool. Only 312 errors to go. I think this is passed along to the add function because in the add function it'll say the same thing, right? So then I just say local equals local.add. Yep, and these options go away. All the casts change. So this is a very far-reaching change, isn't it? What if I just search to replace all option values to value? Conflicting trait. Go back. I don't see the problem. What's conflicting about it? Oh, because we have two of them. Yeah, so this doesn't exist. This one is a it collided. Option value collided with value there. And that also means I don't need this, right? Or this. So does that mean I don't need private data helpers at all? No, I still have one, which is that one. Okay. So all the sum values become values. And then all of the double parentheses become single parentheses. Nil is a special case. Actually, I should just search replace this nil with an arrow after it. Multi-cursor is cool. Is that catching all the right places? No. So we only want some of these. These ones. Oh, actually, no, I want those because it's all of these that have these arrows. Because this is in a tuple. There, fixed it. All right, moving on. Cast to unsigned integer. That was nil, right? Delete. Got folded into nil. Yep, and this goes. Hello, what I serve fave scripter. I think you're asking me what's my favorite something, but like scripting language? I'm not sure what you mean. Have you ever used Rust Analyzer structural search and replace? Maybe useful in this case. I don't know. What's my favorite scripting language? It would be Lua. My favorite scripting language is Lua, and I'm going to be using Lua to script this code that I'm working on right now. That's going to be the next major part of this project, actually. So we're having collisions elsewhere. That's why the 3 dots there are showing up. Yeah, I already had a scripted host implementation for the C++. So the idea would be that we make metatables in Lua to represent the objects that the ingestion library produces or works with, and then that way we can actually script the ingestion library, and then we can write little Lua scripts that run the parser engine. So I could write a Lua script, for example, that says parse something as a GIF file and tell me what the width and height are. And then I can inject those because it's easy to embed Lua into other projects. I'm thinking that that's how we'll do something like custom stuff in the UI is we can make the UI just host Lua, and the Lua have control over both the GUI and the parsing engine. And then we can either like have like scripts that you can plug in or drop in, or they're just kind of built into the tool. A couple reasons why I love Lua for a scripting language. It's easy to embed, it's simple, and it's very innocuous C. Like there's no dependencies on very much other than the standard C library. It's very simple in how it's implemented. It's just a big stack, right? Everything's on the stack. You're constantly pushing things onto the stack, right? There are only a couple weird things about it are everything's 1 based instead of 0 based, but we can excuse them for that. Well, that's just a quirk, right? Okay, so yeah, all these option data values become data value. So you're thinking that the structural search could be just search for option data value and make it data value? Problem I'm worried about is that now I've done some of the search replace already, and if I had option data value, it'll get reduced too far, and I'll have a hard time figuring that out. Okay, here's another case, which means I should really be careful about search replace even within a file of option data value, right? Okay, so these change, right? So rule number 3 actually goes away. We have a bound, and it's something. Not erroneous. So case 3 doesn't exist anymore. So I think that means we don't need to flatten. Yep. Equals to U size, so some U size. Yeah, that's true. So this doesn't change. Cool. That wasn't too bad. Okay, here's a case where n then becomes a map, right? And we're expected to put it into that. So what's wrong with my collect? Oh, it's still option? Oh, right. We actually we have to manufacture a nil value if there's a hole. So I need to do unwrap or data value nil. So the holes in the iterations, because that's option component, it can't be nil because it's not a data value, it's a component. We either parse something or we didn't. If we didn't parse something, it has to be none. But if we're extracting a value from the lack of a component, I think that maps to nil. I need to close my blinds. Hold on. Oh, 372 errors. Okay, well, this... Should I just risk it and go to... I can... What if we look for all option data value? There is no more option data value. For better or for worse, it doesn't exist anymore, so I don't need to worry about it. So what if I just search option value? That's not good. Shouldn't it have found, like... Oh, data value. That's what we want to search for. Don't change it there. I think I can just do a search replace here, right? It's only 15 places. What's the worst that could happen? All right, it has been done. Save all, right? Yeah, we can't undo that. That's the problem. Okay, the cool thing about this is that this is no longer an option, so I don't have to do this else cannot blank something to a nil value, right? We just evaluate it and then we flip it. Oh, we're gonna have a bunch of option self. That we should fix too, right? 39 versions of it. So that becomes self. Go for it. Okay, and then we're gonna have a lot of places where we're gonna remove sums. Cast a string? Huh. What happened to that? It's unresolved. Okay. You think it's reckless? I think it's bold. I did it. So we don't need that, I guess. I thought I had to cast... Oh, I do have a cast a string. There's no cast to string. What happened to cast to string? Uh-oh. What happened to cast to string? It should be in super. It should be around here. Did I accidentally delete it? Uh-oh. I think I deleted something. I think I might have accidentally deleted it off the end here. So good thing I have a copy outside the virtual machine I can look at. I'll just copy paste it back from the virtual machine. Yep, I accidentally deleted it. Okay, copying it, and it was deleted. It was right past cast to decimal. Yeah, it was right here. There, I got it back from outside of the machine. I think I did it because it looked like it was an implementation of something for optional. Okay. Actually, why don't we just use the toString implementation? It uses the formatter, and which goes to the what is it? The display trait format. And for that, oh, but that one puts quotes around it. We don't want that. That's right. This one I didn't want to put quotes around the string, so it's the exception to the rule. Cast a string doesn't put extra quotes around it. Okay. So re-import that. Okay. Add is good, so divide is next. Okay, sum self. Easy. What happened here? I had too many matches. Too many matches. Not that one. That one. One, two, three, four, five. Delete. Close. But not correct. What's going on here? Okay, there. Cool, did it. Easy. No worries at all. Okay. So, yeah, there's gonna be a bit of tedium for a while. I gotta I basically went too far on the assumption we would want option. And now we're having to roll all that back. Next. Thank goodness for multi-cursor, right? Do it all at once. This is much harder to do by multi-cursor, right? Yeah, like this one is an extra. Remove that one and that one. Whew. Okay, we're getting there. But those ones are easy. This is just self-castable, right? Cool. Self, yeah. Okay. Left shift. Left shift, done. Less than. Mask. There and there and there and there, delete. Delete. Cool. Modulo. Oops, there are two others. Only 316 to go. Let's go. 313. Okay, there. And there. 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 Oh, actually, I needed one there. And there and there. What? Comma? Okay. Getting there. Getting there, getting there. You know, programming is not all glamorous. Sometimes you have the boring parts. Have to be done sometime. Why not today? This is the price for not designing it correctly to begin with. It's actually not too bad in a lot of these files. And we're slowly whittling that number down. Okay, we're done with all the binary ops. Actually, all the value is done. Now we're on to component. I think this was like, we were looking at this before, right? The iteration, right. The iteration might need to have an unwrap or optional component, right? If, wait, why isn't it letting me do like a unwrap or? This is what I think it should be. Oh, no, that needs to be inside the map. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Is it just the tests that are all bad? No, there's stuff in context too. Okay. Binary ops are broken. Okay, well, we actually no longer require that. Haha. It's handled by the actual binary ops now. Okay, so there's no more sum. Delete off the end, go away, warning message. Yep. Actually, in a lot of these could just be data value map now, right? And just the variant, because you can actually put a variant and give it to map, which is one of those weird things. It like you can call this like a function, or you can pass it like a function to in any context that takes a function like thing. If you want to just package a value into an enum variant. Nursery thinks so? Oh, that's true. We still have the nursery warnings on now, right? So it probably would have warned me about that once I got rid of all the errors. So it's probably this is returning the wrong type. No, it's returning the correct type. But it probably starts out as none. Actually, we want that to be an option value. So this should be some, actually, on purpose. Yeah, here's one of those rare places where we actually want to keep it as option value, because if it's some, even if it's null, we can't walk into it. That has to remain an option none. And so I actually had to put it into a sum there. And that's where I was meaning before when I said I had to be careful. Okay, so this is a lot easier now. I can just say value, do away with this. Value is none, then value equals, this is value, so I can just do clone. It should not expect it. Yes, it will. And then why is this a problem? Why does it expect an option there? This type is wrong. Yeah, it shouldn't be a double option. So why does it think it needs to be a double up? Because of this. No, that's not it. That's correct type. It's a value I need to look at. Wait. Do I just want to elicit that by just saying it has to be, we expect it to be an option data value? That should, okay, it's here. So what do I put here? Expect a vector value and index into it. Oh, this is, okay, so this is if the part doesn't exist. Then, well, yeah, I think I do want the value to be nil. Data value nil. Some nil value. So this should be like okay value unwrap or, right? Yeah. Okay value unwrap or else this. Yep. Getting there. Oh, this is just index. To do, I don't think I forgot to get rid of the other to-dos, right? Only pedantic. No, actually, now that I have pedantic and nursery on, it's hard to tell what's coming from what. So I don't need the as mute anymore because this is not an option. So it's just match it, right? Sweet. Reference is good. And that had like some really awful code in it that I was scared of. So I don't need, I can just say match, right? Get rid of the sums. What's the deal here? What? I don't know what I did wrong here, but they did something wrong. I don't see it. I don't see it. I guess I'm just going to undo a little bit. Okay, so let's just get rid of this and get rid of the sums. Okay, now, can't I just say match that? Okay, I don't know what the difference is between that and what I had a little bit ago, but whatever it was, it's gone now. Actually, if we have this, it's probably going to warn me. I should just rely on the warnings. It should warn me that this is just an um I can make this a let and have an early return. And actually, I can just use question mark, right? No, I can't. But I could probably flatten, because these probably return the same type. Hello, sir. You were missing the opening curly brace after the match? Okay. I can believe that. Thank you, Fabik. I'll give you a point. First time in chat and first point. Nothing can be... No, you can't use the points for anything, but... Isn't it always like a nice feeling when you get something? Maybe in the future, if I ever like have a use for points, you'll be able to use it for something, but unfortunately not today. But you can still accumulate them by helping. Okay, yeah. So as you can tell if you've been watching for a while, I'm removing option around one of the types that I use in this project. And I'm hitting all the places in the code where that's affected by that change. So a lot of sums are getting removed. Like in here, I can just remove this entirely because I can just, well, if I had to do like this, right? This I can put it in the string interpolation directly. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of places where we have sums or options that we have to remove. Yeah, so all my tests are going to be like this, right? Actually, what if I just do like some data value? So that's hitting a lot of places, and I can at least make some of the changes. So what if I like hit all of the those. That might be the wrong thing to do, but it'd be the right thing in a lot of places. Okay, so assert none for food value. A lot of, yeah, there's enough of those we can fix this, right? Data value nil. Okay, that actually hit a lot of things. That was actually a lot more effective than I thought it would be. Okay. Yeah, a lot of tests are going to have the same formula of removing that, and then a lot of cases will have this. This might not be the right thing in all cases, so it might cause more errors. Okay, so yeah, assert this. Do we have this in more than one place? No, it's okay. Maybe I should do this search replace in all files. Because I use foo everywhere. So some all goes away from here. Actually, that was not so bad. What if I like take that and I do a search replace globally? So the 131 cases, because that's always going to turn into that, right? So just replace all of those. Okay. We're going to have a lot of these. But this might be too generic. Yeah, see, it's too generic. I don't want to do it in all of those places. So maybe only in tests. So I hit X until I get only the tests. Can't tell if that's a test. It's not a test. Okay, here, let's just change to that, right? Actually, all these things look like things we want to change. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it. 144 changes. Here we go. Too late to regret it now. Now we have 1,000 errors. It's really confused. Maybe I need to restart. It's going berserk now. Is it rerunning it for every file I just saved? Yeah, okay, so I have a lot of places where we broke it. But there's probably broken in fewer places than we started at, right? Although 1,000 errors does sound, that's actually not the right. 1,000 errors sounds scary to me. Oh, it goes there, right? Not at the end. So what if I have a toString comma and I change that to toString with the extra parentheses comma again? And then drop that. Yeah. So these need to go back to having parentheses. Yep. So repair these all. Okay, now we're at 700 tests. Okay, these I expected. Okay, some of these are broken. All right. Well, we got some work to do. Actually, how many times do we do this? That maybe I could do a global replace on. 14 is enough. So we're changing that to, can I just, there we go. Data value nil. Replace. Okay. These are easy to fix, right? Just hit save on that and we're good. Okay, that got hit. I like foo, as you can tell. Use foo everywhere. That's the wrong... Oh, the origin's included in that one. Okay. Yeah, I chopped off the parentheses in a lot of places. It happens. So that goes there. Okay. Yeah, this is easy to fix. This is that the... No, it's already fixed. What's wrong with this then? Why is it expecting an option value? I don't see where it... Why would it be expecting an option value, found value? It should not be expecting an option value. Data value. I think it's confused. Can I, like, restart? I think it really just got confused by all that. Yeah, see, it's only really 219 errors. Okay. Okay, on all of these, the end parentheses got eaten. So there and there, there. There. That's it. Okay, cool. So again, I think this one's okay, right? Restart server. Yeah, there's nothing wrong there. Variant 6. Oh, what are we doing here in grammar? Oh, we need to regenerate this. It went and it mucked up this file big time. So I think the way I do that is I go to the grammar file and I not this one, but the original grammar file. And I hit save on it and then I cargo build it. Is it not lib? Package. I could spell it right. So now it's regenerating the parse, the grammar.rs. Nope. How do I guess if I change the file? I don't know. Change something about this. Duplicate that line. Just insert it twice. It should force it to regenerate that file, right? Yes. Cool, and then I can undo my damage. Now we only have 20-something errors. Sure is taking a long time to analyze it. Okay, well, okay, it's done. Cool. Again, like, it just needs to be restarted. Like, it didn't reanalyze these files here. Okay, yeah, this is a problem. All the sums go away. Good. Okay, more work. Okay. There and there and there. There and there. Okay, 26. I wonder what it is maybe I just need to clear problems. Or hit, is there an X? I'll just restart the server again. When in doubt, reset it, right? Got errors appear. All right, so all of these assert nones. We'll say assert data value nil. Sum goes away. Restart. Yeah, there sure are a lot of places I have to fix things. I certainly do have a lot of tests. The search replaces, though, I did are actually pretty effective. Because they hit most of the end parentheses without damaging too much. Here there's one. It didn't see that because there was no comma after it. So I could add another targeted one. Maybe I should still do this, where we do look for some data value, colon. Let's look for that. What would that, so we'd want to turn that into just data value, right? So we, actually we might want to change that one. What's that? No, we definitely don't want to change that one. That was a special one. But yeah, all of these we do want to change, right? So 56 changes, do it. Okay, like there's some extra commas in here now. Extra parentheses here and there, but that should be a lot less work for me to do. This problem again. Restart server should be good. Okay, just puncture one X. It's just the extra parentheses in a few places. There. It's always the last thing in a vector, right? Now that's a tricky one to search for. Actually, this test is going to break, right? We can't have a none there. All right. This one's equal. That puts this in the clipboard for good luck. Because there might be 37 places where I need it. Wait. What put non in front of that? Did you see that? Non-data value? That was a very nice thing to put in the clipboard. Okay, restart server. If I hit that, this, right? Okay, what's the error here? Oh, this is the sum again. Scroll down. Aha, clipboard saves the day. Down to the last 9 errors. Yes, so we can't initialize that to none anymore. To none anymore. It's got to be a nil. Right there. There. That's correct, but there's one extra one there. Right there. And there. This is a missing one. And there. They're missing. Box new that. These got eaten. There and there got eaten. There. 2 errors. There. And still 2 more errors. 3 more. It's discovering more as I type. 6 more. Now it's just debating me. Now there's 9 more. Oh, down to 4. Nope, now it's up to 6. Down to, oh, now it's at the 8. It's bouncing around. Where are we? We're in the parser now? Huh. So there are a lot of these places that I chopped up with my search replace, which indiscriminately like damage things. Okay, I got about an hour before it's World of Warcraft time. Right there. Right there, and damaged it there. There. Hey there, Avalanche Pointer. How are you doing? Keyboard. The keyboard. Made it myself. Yes, I play WoW about 8 hours a week. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. That's why I generally don't stream on those nights anymore. Or now. Because usually I only have enough time to eat dinner and then I have to doing a raid, you know? And it's on the other days of the week that I have more free time. Oh, thank you. Yeah, feel free to check out the overview of that, and all the streams were recorded, so you can jump around and see me do the hardware or the software. Although most of the hardware was done off stream, actually. Yeah, see, I have some punctuation problems in the code now because I did a huge search replace, and that hit a lot of. It was sort of the hammer was too heavy, right? So like it removed or added parentheses in a lot of places it shouldn't have. So I'm going there and I'm going around and finding, and I'm getting better at spotting them now because I kind of know what I'm looking for. And it keeps lying to me. It keeps going down and then back up, which is sort of sad. I'm hoping that I'm almost done, but the error count keeps going back up. So it went back up to 3. Like, no, stay at 2, please. Oh no, it's at 4. Now it's at 6. Holy errors. Unmatched delimiter. I have a feeling this is going to go on for a while. Yeah, this is a 36 key keyboard, so I have a lot of shift keys I have to develop muscle memory for. Then anytime I hit a symbol or a number or navigation key for like arrow keys, they're all on different shift layers. So it's roughly analogous to a corn keyboard. That was my mental model going into the project. Yeah, I was too heavy-handed with this parentheses thing, right? Damaged all of these tests. Those are okay. This one's not. Back to 25 errors. There. Oh, I missed one. It's here somewhere. This is a really big one. Okay, got it. And there it is. It kind of has a little red squiggly. If you kind of look, find it, you'll see it. I'm hitting them pretty fast, though. Might be hard pressed to see it before I actually find it. Doo-doo. Yeah, so I play WoW in a casual guild, raiding guild. So it's like if we can get 10 people to play, we'll raid, and we all know each other in real life. We're very reluctant to pick up people in the raid that we don't know in real life. What's going on here? I guess that is missing. Yeah, that was a new one there that I didn't expect. There it is. Shortcut for next error. It's just that like it highlights that as an error, but that's not the error. The actual error is here. And we're done with this file. Only one error left. But this goes there. Still one error. It's around here somewheres. I think I see it. It's right there. Now there are 8 errors. Right there. And in here we have... They're getting harder to spot, but here it is. It's missing there. And then there's an extra one there? No, there's an extra one there. Oh, we did it. No more errors, only warnings. Build all the things. Okay, so I might have broken some tests. I might have done. I'm just saying, I might have broken some things. It's an understatement. Oh, we didn't break anything. Wow. I'm shocked. I'm shocked and impressed. Okay, so it's saying that I called map unwrap or on an option. This can be done more directly by calling map or instead. Oh, okay. It's like you move this one to here, right? Yeah, that's cool. The diagnostics in Rust are pretty cool. It really hates that match statement. You seem to be trying to use match for destructuring a single pattern. Use if let. Oh yeah, I remember running into this thinking, it's gonna tell me about using if let. This is opposite though, isn't it? I want to do the early exit, so, and I don't care about the error, so it should just be um, let OK value equal that else, and then move these two lines out to there. And then just have this match here. Delete these lines, remove that. Cool. All right, and another one down here, I can see it. It's the same thing, right? So just take this and say, let that be true. Otherwise, do this up here. End of story. And then remove the OK in front. And then all of that. Okay, 7 warnings. This is the map or again. Another one of them. Map or nil, extract value. Cool. Auto formatter is really cool too. Okay, I have something new to suppress in all the tests. It's that it doesn't like it being passed by value. Yeah, this is in a test, so I want to allow that. I want to at the test level. Where is it? One level up from here. Here. Allow needless pass by value. That's it. No warnings. We pass all our tests. Okay, now let's run the parsing. Parsing. So the idea is that we're taking this file, which looks like this to you and me. The computer sees it like that. Now we're saying, hey, let's describe what that file looks like using a custom language. That's a GIF file. This is its format description. So the tool compiles this into an abstract syntax tree. It then walks through that tree in order along with the bytes to figure out what every byte means. In other words, it's a programmable decoder. And this is a shell on top of that library. Which isn't working because the grammar, I updated the grammar. I need to update the grammar, right? I had to, I wanted to improve the grammar rules, but I wanted to go back and show what the old tool, how fast it was. In order to do that, I had to put the old grammar rules back. So I'll use the old version of the tool to demonstrate. So first 3 bytes, well, the first part of GIF is a header. First part of a header is a string called signature is 24 bits long. So there we go. 3 bytes is GIF. It is equal to GIF, so it's not an error. Next, string called version, 24 bits long. Next 3 bytes, 89A. Then we return that version. So header is 89A. Next thing is logical screen. First thing on the logical screen descriptor. First thing in that is a logical screen width. That's an unsigned integer, 8 bits long, called LSB, and then MSB. So that's least significant, most significant byte, right? So the overall value is the MSB shifted to the left 8, add LSB. So there's the LSB is 44, because it's wrapping, unfortunately. MSB is 1, so that's 1, shift left 8 is 256, plus 44, 300. And it's indeed 300. And then again for the height, so it's 300 again. It's a 300 by 300 GIF. But I want this to work with the new code. It doesn't like that in the syntax we say plus is unexpected. That's because in the new syntax I collapsed those two and I got rid of next. Actually, just getting rid of the arrow is good enough, and I don't need to declare next. Next on line 76, same thing. We put the plus in front, and we call it look ahead. No longer need to be local. Plus expected. So that's this one. Again, don't need that. We're going to call it look ahead. And we're allowed to override an argument to the function. I thought we were. Actually, it says collision on, and it didn't actually print the name. So that's a bug. Let's go fix that bug. Collision on. Oh, we have nothing called name, right? No, we do have a name. So that must have been a different collision on name. Right here, maybe? Ah, yeah, we need to format that. Okay. Question mark. Okay, so it will tell us the name it collided on. Collision on look ahead. All right, so I thought I allowed that though. Did I not? Go back to GIF. I thought I allowed colliding with an argument. Did I like that I broke that somehow. That should have been allowed. Temporary workaround. We'll call it look ahead, new look ahead, and let's see if it allows me to do assignment. Yeah, okay, so the workaround works. So you see it parses all the way through the file, all the way to the end, and it figures out all the way to the last byte, which is a trailer byte, right? And it knows that there are 61 data blocks in the GIF. And then somewhere in there, there was a Netscape special purpose block. Oh, and we learned that this application authentication code is actually a string, so let's fix that. Authentication, right? That this is actually a string. So if I make that little change and make it an S, and look for net again, now it says it's 2.0. Woohoo! All right, yeah, that thing that broke, right? Line 95. So actually, I think I want to keep that UI. So this thing, like, I wanted to allow that. What it's saying is look ahead some bytes and store the value in look ahead. And it's colliding because it says, oh, well, you already have a part called look ahead, or a parameter called look ahead. But I wanted parameters to be like overwritable. And the way it should allow it is it doesn't have an origin. And it should allow me to overwrite an origin, but it's not for some reason. So that was here, right? I thought I had a test for that, but if the tests are all working, then I obviously don't have a test for that. Yeah, I obviously don't have a test for that. So let's make a test in look ahead. I don't have look ahead. Part. Yeah. Power no bound. Change. I think this is it, right? This is supposed to be an error to try to change a part. Change function error. Okay, so this test, yeah, this test passes okay, so that means that there's actually a second failure mode. I think I know what it is. This one's changing by assignment, but we should do a change by look ahead. So this change function argument by R value by assignment, really. But let's have a change by parsing look ahead or something. Yeah, it has to be look ahead. The only other options are it's parsing actual bits. Actually, that should be allowed too. So this should say, we should just say test change argument by parsing. So if I should be able to say UI bits. That should be allowed because it should evaluate that first, do the parsing, and then assign it back to bits. So although that's sort of weird, it should be allowed. So we should get 4 bits. And when we read bits, it should be the result, not 8. Oh, bar. Oh, because we replaced it, so just bar.bits. Should give us the same bits, right? Why is that a vector? Oh, because it shouldn't be a vector. It should just be the bits themselves. No, it should be the 4 bits that we read. So it should be this. Yeah, there should be 4 bits read, and it shouldn't be 4, it should be 1 because that's the actual bits. So this is gonna fail, right? It's gonna give me a collision error. It actually panicked and we have no diagnostic about it. Oh, because I don't have a colon there. There we go, collision on bits. Unable to parse parse bar. Okay, so then that's back in statement, I think. Or where we searched and found it, right? Context. Find non-part child entry. I thought I fixed this. Bits, more bits. Do you do big little endian too? Yes. The way I do big little endian is through a function. Well, this is a parsing. If we need to parse a little endian UN16, then we parse 8 bits, and then we construct the 16-bit thing by doing the shifting and adding. We could also make a functional equivalent of that. Like if I wanted to make it a function, like 2 little endian UI16, and we had like a big endian UI16, then it would be something like return. Well, I guess if we would pass it separately, like LSB, MSB, then it would just be this part. And actually then we could leverage this and just say return that. So this is if we're actually parsing the bits, and this is if we already have the bits and we just want to turn them in. I chose not to make it a built-in because doing a specification of it, either by parsing or not, is super easy to do. What problem or question? Not quite understanding the language. So yeah, the language is just describing how to parse something. So like a GIF file, right? And I tried to minimize the number of built-ins. So UI is a built-in, unsigned integer. S is a built-in for string. And then I have floating point and single bit. And that's only because it's just handy to say I want a bit. And because the other way would be U, and then you have to put a bound of 1 bit on it, right? Super handy to just say bit. And that's it. Those are all the built-ins. Everything else is constructed based off of the built-ins, including the concept of little endian, right? It's just two UIs fit together by shifting and adding. I gotta take a quick break. I'll be right back. All right, I'm coming back. Can you do cross byte values, like starting at bit 4 in a byte and ending in the next byte? Yep, certainly can. I have some tests for that, actually. What was I doing here? Oh, yeah, that was just to demonstrate, right? So, part. I'll show you like the really crazy one. Here's the really crazy one. So here, we parse 8 bits, and then we go into a inner loop, and we have we skip the first 2 loops, but then we parse 4 bits. Actually, this isn't crossing a byte boundary, so it's not as fun. Anyway, we loop the outer loop twice. The second inner loop, we go to a different inner loop where we go 6 times and we only parse the first 4 times. But because the y's are separated by x's, you get this funny zigzag pattern. So x1 is after all the y zeros, and y0 and y0 and y01 are nil. And these are the bits that go into y02 and y03. But if we did span them, yeah, they would grab them from adjacent bytes. So let me try to make an example to fit exactly what you were saying. I might actually already have one like that. Well, actually, I guess I don't. Don't I have like a normal one? I seem to only have negative tests. Okay, let's make a one test span bytes. So we'll have like a UI X going 5 bytes, and then UI Y going 7 bytes, and then UI Z going 4 bytes. That adds up to 16, right? Because that makes it easy. I can just put in 2 bytes here. 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0. And what's another interesting bit pattern? 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. So we do not get an error. And we should be able to get X. Actually, let's not care about the error. Let's just assert equal. Data value unsigned integer. For X, we should get what? 5 bits. So that's 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. Value. Okay, and then Y and Z, right? Y has 7 bits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we 0, 1, 0, 1. No, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, right? 7 bits, and then Z is the last 4, 0, 0, 1, 1. So this test should pass. There we go. So you can see Y is spanning 2 of the bytes there. It's taken up that much of it, right? No, more than that. 7 bits. 4, 5, 6, 7. Those 7 bits go to Y. There are a few limitations. So UI can't be more than 64 bits. So if you want to parse things that are larger than 64 bits, you have to parse them separately and then combine them in some way. And we support vectors. So you could make a vector of 64-bit integers and then like operate on the vectors. There are some limitations to what you can do with this thing. So I never actually learned ASN.1, but we've had a lot of people coming to chat saying that this reminds them of that. Oh, I was in the middle of changing something, right? Oh, I manufactured this test and that is illustrating a bug, right? We're changing a parameter by parsing. Yep, I remember this now. That's what I was working on before. It was right here too. And it was that it has to find a non-part child. I think what it should be is find originless child. So a child with no origin, we should allow overwriting that. So the way that works is if it's not occupied, it's fine. If it's occupied, then we don't look in locals, do we? We look and see if the oh, hold on. Maybe I changed my mind on this. It might not have an origin, but it might have subcomponents. Yeah, this gets funny. Okay, so maybe I don't want to allow that. But an argument should be fine, right? I don't want to support this. Let's not. Let's not change this at all. So, actually I need a redo on that. So back in the test, where were we? This. This should actually be this should be an error. Collision on bits. So that means in the original grammar I had, it is a problem. Where was that again? That was like, yeah, collision on look ahead line 94. Okay. So originally, what did this look like? Let me look off screen because I have a copy of it there. Line 94. Oh, okay. In the original code, we allowed it to overwrite with a different syntax. So yeah, I don't want to do that. Why don't we just call it data header? Hold on, wait a minute. I allow it with assignment though, right? So then I just have a different problem then. If I overwrite it with assignment and it has components, we need to remove those components, right? Otherwise it doesn't make sense, does it? Maybe it does, I don't know. It needs to be at least consistent. Yeah, it was an assignment that I did this, that I allowed this. So what did I do for assignment? That's in, that's assignment. It's obviously not called assignment. Statement? Here. Assignment statement, there it is. So it's this one. To reference or create local mutable. Innermost component. Right, here it is. It must have no origin in the bitstream. So we allow you to mutate a component if it has no origin. Or it's not found, and we don't require an existing one. Okay, so then I guess I'm vacillating. I'm going back to that we do want it to not be an error. And I got to write this again, right? Assert equal, because I lost it. Data value unsigned integer 0b0001 for food.key children.get bar. Actually, no, it's just we return it back out, so it's just food.value. Right. So it says collision. It's an error when it shouldn't be. So here, right? And change that to find originless child. It'll allow an unoccupied entry. So I need to change this to an if let this, because I actually need the entry out of there. Oh wait, no, we're returning the entry, right? Put the entry back out. So I call this something else maybe? Equals, do I have to, I think I have to borrow it, but I'm not sure. And if occupied entry dot get, I think, dot origin is some, then it's an error. I'm missing punctuation there. Too much punctuation. Okay. Can I combine these two into one line? I don't think I can because, well, I guess I could put the if inside of here. Actually, I can do that, right? You can't put the if there. I thought you could. Oh, only in a match, right? Yeah. So I'll just make it a nested if. So that should, let's put a bookmark there. Go back to the test that failed. Put a bookmark there. Okay, so that should make the test pass, right? Without breaking any other tests. No, it still fails. Still says collision on bits. It shouldn't have an origin though. Oh, let's put a breakpoint there. I want to see that. Debug that. What? Say what again? Collision on bits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, collision there. But it didn't hit that. So it's a different collision on? It's one of these? Okay. Then there's more than one place I need to test then. Debug. Okay, it's there. Oh, if not parsing in a loop, store parse an immediate child, but it already exists. But we want to allow it to exist because it's okay. Yeah, what do we do then? We already have the part where we're storing it at this point. I guess we replace it? Completely replace it? Yeah, this is different from the other one then because the other one was where it was just a value. This is the whole component. Okay. Well, then I need a test for the other place here. Bookmark here. What's that called by? Oh, I see. It's if it's an ignore or a look ahead. Which makes sense. You'd want to... I guess this does override it. Well then... It's right. Okay, it was an add part. So I need two tests. So this should, if I rewrite the test to make it a look ahead and not a parse, then it would work. So okay, another test. Many tests. So this is change function argument by look ahead. So the only difference is we put a plus in front. And we can't return it because it's a local, but I can return bar if I do return bits here. And this should work now because of the change I made. Yes. So it allows us to basically replace it if we're not putting it in like a vector context, if we're just replacing a local. It can't have an origin though. Actually, we're gonna have a trouble because a vector component doesn't have an origin either. Another test to check that. We should not allow doing that. So hold on, another test. Change vector component by look ahead. This should not be allowed. So we just have a bar. Actually, I guess we don't even need don't even need a sub function, right? Just do this in foo. So we'd have for like I equals 0, I is less than 1, plus plus I. And we'd have like some UI called X, which is, I don't know, 8 bits. How about 4? 4 bits, right? And then we look ahead and we store into X. That should collide, and I think it's not going to collide. I think it's actually going to fail to collide. Yeah, so it actually allowed it to be replaced. It should be an error. Actually, it should not only be an error, but we should be able to extract the value of X, which should still be a vector with a single entry in it. Foo.keyChildren.get x.unwrap.value. Data value unsigned integer vect. Oh, it's the other way around. Vector of unsigned integers or values, right? Okay. This has to be in double quotes. Okay, so let's fix that. Here. So it should be either if the origin is sum or it has vector context. So if it's sum or actually then let's just get the entry to use right here, let occupied entry equals occupied entry dot get. And then occupied, it's a long name. Why did I make a long name? I don't know. Iterations is not empty. Either one of those means it's a collision. Okay, so back to the test. Yeah, so this, let's see, make sure this still works. Cool, it passed. Collision on X, right? Collision on X, but X was not harmed. So we parsed that, and then this was a collision. Can't look ahead. Should I cover all the cases? We shouldn't be able to override it by look ahead um or by parsing. Yeah, still collision on an X. Great. Then we're done with this one. This one we still have a problem with, right? Or is this one correct now? That one's good. It's this one we had a problem with, right? Yes. It should not, this one should not collide because we want function arguments to be overwritable by parsing. Okay. So follow the bookmarks. So it's this add part that we should allow. And it's that. So this name is not actually correct. It should be find originless non. Well, technically, if it has iterations, it's not that it doesn't have an origin. It's that its iterations have origins. So that is the correct. Okay, that is the correct thing. So it's in here. We're not doing that. So it was right here that's colliding, right? Right, that it's occupied. So then I do want to do a match, right? So this is occupied. Let's actually put that first. And then for vacant, it's never a collision, so we do nothing, right? Actually, what was this originally? If it's not, it was like it had to be vacant otherwise, right? Okay, then I don't really need a match then. It's if let. If let occupied, occupied. Actually, this is looking a lot like the other thing, so maybe I should be copying. Insert for enum, what? Oh, you're right. We do need a match because if it's vacant, we need to insert. If it's occupied but has no origin, we do a reassignment. And have to be careful if we're replacing it um in a loop, then we don't want to actually do this insert part, do we? No, that's if we're not. Okay, but if we are, what if we are and it's occupied? Then we actually might collide with it. But that would mean that we have an argument and we go into a loop and we parse something. Okay, okay, I guess I need a test for that, but okay, match entry occupied. we'll do, for now, we'll just do this. But I need the vacant. And we can reuse entry here. This is vacant entry. Then we do the insert, right? Okay. This should only be if, let's bookmark because I want to go to the other one. Oh, did I? It's in here. There is a bookmark for it. Okay. I just didn't go to it. There. If it's sum or its iterations aren't empty, then it's a collision. Why did it not like that? Oh, because I have to do in front of this I have to do a get. And I multi-cursor on. There we go. What happens if I call that entry? Does it? It doesn't hide the original value of entry over here, does it? No, it doesn't. So I can just use entry and cool. So then I can go back to the other one and use entry as also. Let entry equals entry.get. And here I want to do a get mute and remove that mutable entry because we're replacing it. So this is entry equals part, right? Instead of inserting the part, and then we're returning okay. Okay, so that should pass the test here. Cool. And all my tests should pass. I shouldn't have broken anything with that. Okay, I broke something. Test ignore and reuse local. I shouldn't be unhappy. Because that's the whole purpose of these tests, is to catch regressions, right? So how did this break? Collision on X. 1, 2, 3. It didn't let me do that. That's not a local, though. I don't get it. Was I considering an ignore a local? Why would I name an ignore anyway? That was just to make the syntax easier, right? Shouldn't that just be a collision on X? Because... Oh. I guess I allowed it at some point, so if it's... Then I can't really tell the difference between... something that hasn't... well, I guess if it's local. So it's exempted if it's local, and a parameter isn't local. Is that the reason why? Okay, fine. I have to satisfy past RIMU and current RIMU. You watched some Erlang tutorials, did some real basic stuff. Your brain might be too smooth for... What's FP? What is FP, Nightshade dude? Functional programming. So Erlang is about functional programming? The way I understand functional programming, it's easier to learn if you just think about it as just a string of decorators, like an assembly line. Something comes in and then every step it gets transformed to something else. And all the functions do are they're like filters. They're taking something in and doing something and sending something back out. Like, not filter, but like a decorator, right? or a transformer. Yeah. So let's bookmark this one. So it's when we get into this, right? No, it's not this one. It's here. Find originless. So it's on originless non-local entry. It's what it is. Originless or local. So if it has no origin or it's local, we allow it to be overridden. It can't be overridden if it's a part and has an origin. But if it's a part with no origin, we allow you to override it. I mean, this all makes sense to me. So it's it's the invert of this is a collision. So it's either it's some origin. Well, this is the definition of originless. So that and not local. So why don't we just say, well, it's not exactly originless. It's originless. No, that's just another. The origin can be hidden inside the iterations. That's what that is. So let's say originless equals this condition. If originless and not local. So self.locals.get name is, I guess turn around is none. If it's non-local and is originless. No, it's the opposite of this. Not. So is none and. Yep, that's the correct. That's originless. It has no origin and it has no iterations. If it's not originless and it's not local, then it's a collision. Okay. Logic is hard for me sometimes. So that one, it's this one that I broke. Okay, now that's passing, and make sure all the tests pass together. Cool, I did it. Oh, I gotta go. Let's clean up this workspace, right? Where's the run and debug? I turned it off. I wanted to delete those breakpoints I put in there. And then do I need these bookmarks anymore? Fix the tests, right? Yeah. I think we fixed all this as far as I care about right now. So send it out of the virtual machine. Okay, just want to assess where I am now. I have no more to-dos here, right? But I have a bunch of to-dos. Or do I? I'll remove this once. Oh, we can remove this now? Sweet. We're done with to-dos. The only to-dos left are to document the libraries. Document the 3 libraries. I don't want to do documentation tonight. So this is cool. So no warnings, no errors, passing all unit tests, no to-dos left. So I'm just down to, let me run the parsing on the real file to make sure it still works. Yes, still works, right? Yeah. So I'm down to just the to-dos that are in the to-do file. Support map lookups, map L values. We did this. That's done. We did that. That's done. Fighting my keyboard. Okay, so I don't have map lookups or L values yet. I had to rework the GIF file format for that. We have some bot ideas. Consider adding syntax for a loop, as in Rust. Okay, that's one thing we could do. Then I won't need like while, like I have this while one, right? We can turn that to while true. That should still work, right? Let's do the less form of that. Yeah, see, it still works. But it would be even better if we just said loop, right? So an alternate loop syntax. Add test to ensure evaluating arguments stops on first error. Okay, I should do that. Consider allowing locals marked in some way to be saved as parts of this component. Let's cancel that one. Well, when would I want a local to be saved as part of a component? I think the only reason I would do, only place I would want that is is in the return value, and I have the return statement for that. Okay, but okay, I could add it and just not use it. So I can add a syntax for saving a local. And that would just remove it from the locals list, right? See if we can get rid of required parentheses. That's something we could do. More bot ideas. Be able to parse this 32-bit decimal. More idea. Oh, there's a bot. Something broken in the bot. I think this is not applicable anymore. No, this is still applicable. So, but I don't see the advantage of using index range. But I still wanted to consider it because someone suggested it. Do not require. So there's that. There's the semicolon before issue. Use parts as values. What did I mean by that? We can parts already have values. I don't remember what this is about. I should watch the VOD. Okay, yeah. I didn't remember it. So I wrote a note saying I don't remember it. So I should watch the VOD around that time. Okay. Map construction right now where it says references, not values. And that's a problem if you we fixed that, right? These local references try to return them. No, that's not a problem anymore. It dereferences them to is it? Map, right? Is the key values. Key values is let's look for key values. Vector key value. Yeah, they're expressions now. Expression. So when did we ever use ref? It's just a reference. Assign, accumulate. I think this is an old note. I think this is an old note, so it's no longer applicable. Cancel. This seems to be an old note. The grammar now, well, the grammar now only supports constructing maps using key values, which is a comma separated list of expressions, colon expression. Yeah, can I add a timestamp? To do. What can I do? Toggle done, cancel done, archive. Timer? I don't know what the timer is. I thought there was a way you could like add like a time. I mean, I can just make it a task and then turn it off again and get a timestamp. That's okay. I don't care. Consider syntax for excluding argument from the component set of exposed parts. Well, we have that. Oh, excluding an argument. I don't have that. I think I would do that with a minus symbol in front of the ID. Consider adding a kind of statement that emits a warning, continuous parsing. Yeah, okay. Okay, these are all valid to do, so maybe I'll work on some of these next time. Next time would be tomorrow morning. Identifier list for formal arguments to formats. Why do I need that? Why do I need that? Maybe watch the VOD. Identifier list for formal arguments to... So right now, the formal list of arguments to formats is... that's a part statement. That's what that means. It's this expression list. No, formal would be in format. It's span. No, it's not. It's ID list. So it's just this ID list, a chain of identifiers. Why would I care to make an identifier list? Yeah, I don't know why I need that. Generate a warning if the part doesn't use all the bits in the bound, or make a way to specify both upper and a lower bound. Okay, that's a good idea. Add type conversion built-in. Okay, these are all good things, but yeah, time for me to head on out. Actually, hold on. Only if we're actually playing tonight. I don't know if we are. Yeah, I guess we are playing. So, gotta head on out, because I'm needed in Azeroth, apparently. Let's go raid Adam. Here we go. We're gonna raid a pixel artist named Adam. Why does he not show up? Is he, let me refresh. He's still going, right? Why does he not show up on my list? There we go. I hope you enjoy Adam's stream. I'll be back tomorrow morning to work on some of these to-dos, probably. And have a good evening or a good rest of your day. All right? Bye.